Hi y'all, I'm Allison and welcome to the Mighty Bujo. It's time to set up another month in my bullet journal, and we've got February today. So I did decide to have a little fun with the word by adding some hearts in the lettering. Alright, so we're off and running, and I also want to mention, in addition to the monthly view, I have 6 more spreads for y'all, double pages. So there's quite a bit to get through today, and here is one of the changes that I'm doing. It's not really a change, it's more a new little look, but this is my big to-do box, and those are supposed to be like those little photo corners. Wanted to change things up a little bit. I know my monthly setups are pretty much the same thing, and that's just because they've been working so well for me, but I'm ready for a change. So speaking of a change, this is a new element I'll be adding, and this is to track the weather. So in Texas, February, our weather just goes crazy. We can have it 70 degrees or it can be 18 degrees. We can get ice or we could be outside in our shorts. So I'm making this little grid, and I'm splitting the boxes so I can record the actual high and low for the day, not the forecast, but what it actually did. And then I'll also be adding a little color grid to show whenever it's cloudier and whatnot, which is right here. So this is the month where we get the biggest variety in weather. That'd be, kind of interesting to see how it plays out this month. Now that mini monthly challenge, I don't like how that turned out, and so I will be fiddling with that quite a bit. It turns out to be a royal pain, to be honest. But yeah, washi tape. I'm going to be playing with it. Now these colors are light and they look really similar on camera, but there is more variation in person. And if it's like super rainy like it was yesterday, we get buckets here. We don't get a little bit of rain. It's like you walk outside and God just dumped this huge bucket of water down on you for like 10 minutes. So if it's really heavy rain, I'm going to be coloring the square dark. If it's light, then I'll just keep the coloring a light color. Hope that makes sense. And here I'm just making the little tab for my month of February. And this is where I start trying to get rid of that mini monthly challenge. Now I like that pink washi tape and I wish I would have left it, but it's going to change. And last month, I was really hit and miss with my little monthly mini challenge. So I decided for February, I'm going to continue on with my morning routine. It is starting to work. I'm starting to do some of these things instinctively every morning. And that was just after a couple of weeks, which supports that theory that 2 weeks to create a habit. But I want to continue it out for the entire month of February and see if this will just become part of my normal day without even thinking about it. Good thing is I am now starting to eat breakfast and take my vitamins and drink water, so it's working. Suzanne, how's yours working? Let me know. Or anybody else if you decided to do this with us. Now here's where I do like this, but I wanted to lift this tape up and put white on the lettering that's peeking behind it. But this is 3M washi tape, and it went really quick, but it was starting to tear off the top layer of my paper, so I was stuck with it. So if you buy the 3M, you're gonna want to be really careful when you put it down because you can't change it around like normal. And I do like how the hearts putting the white gel inside in the February title. I think that fixed that. that page, I had a lot of things that after I did it, I was like, oh God, I shouldn't have done that. And then, you know, it's kind of like a bad hair day. You keep fiddling with it and fiddling with it. So I still don't know, here we are a week into the month, how I feel about my monthly view. So I'm just going to reserve judgment and see how it goes throughout the month. Typically, when your pages, you're not sure if you like them or not. As you fill them up and use them, then they start to grow on you. So I'm hoping that'll happen for that. Now here is my habit tracker, which is still being neglected. I have been so busy. I had jury duty, we've had doctor's appointments, my daughter needed a root canal. This is all since February 1st. It's been crazy. But I keep hoping. I do love my little roses that I did here. So I really like how that turned out. In fact, I think when this page is done, it's my favorite of all of them. Oh, well, almost my favorite. And all I did in the center of those roses was just do a swirl starting from the center out. No, it didn't show up that well on the camera. Lots of hearts. You can't have Valentines without hearts, right? And I do love this shade of red, Tombow. I think it's, 856. Such a beautiful red. So beginning of the month, I'm going heavy on the hearts with my weekly views and everything. And then once Valentine's is past, I'll probably switch to flowers. And I'm thinking of doing one of my weekly spreads using jewelry. I'm kind of excited about that one. So you'll have to keep an eye out if you want to see it. And which reminds me, be sure and subscribe if you haven't. I would really appreciate it. So here's the 3 lines a day. I didn't journal at all in January, and I have high hopes for February, so I'm going to try it again, not giving up. And I will be using just a black fine liner this time, which I think will go good with the red and the gray. Okay, and here is the tracker for my daughter's school day. I homeschool, and I physically sit with her. She's not doing online classes. Which is, one of the main reasons why I'm always running behind. And there's tons of things to do every day. And this, I'm just dividing the days into weeks, marking off the weekend. Now, I've realized that my monthly setups, a lot of it is the same, and I'm sorry for that if it's making the videos a little repetitive. So if you would prefer to see these just as a flip through, then let me know, and maybe I can just do it as a flip through with my main weekly setup, and that might help me be on a better schedule for the month, at least during this school year. So if you have an opinion either way, please let me know in the comments. And if you're new to my channel, then be sure and check out my other monthly setups. The one thing that does change is every month I have a different theme. And that was the other thing I considered doing, just setting up my grids and everything, and then just coming in and doing all the decorative elements at once, which I'm kind of intrigued with trying it that way. So yeah, like I said, if there's anything you'd like to see, just let me know. Now up here with the title, what I'm doing is I decided to have clouds, and I wanted it to look like the letters were coming out of the clouds. And I think it works. And this is the happiest I've been with this spread in all of the times I've done it. This has always been one that's been a challenge for me. I'm never really happy with the way they look, but they function great. And more clouds to balance it out. And as I fill in this page, if I make my goals, I'll be writing it in pink. And if I miss it, I'll be writing the info in with a gray. So I think they're going to be really pretty when they're done. I'm happy with those. Here, I forgot to turn on the camera. And I also put too many hearts. Originally, I was going to have the word gratitude, but I had too many. So I've figured out a way around it, and I'm going to put so grateful instead, and then leave one of the hearts empty. And I was grateful I was able to come up with a different idea, because I was like, no. And over here, just simple little overflow section, brain dump. And then here we come to the last ones. This is gonna fly by. It is my schedule for my YouTube videos. As I post them, I put them on here so I can see how long it's been between. And I'm trying to maintain or get a schedule going. I know I keep saying that every month. I'm sorry. I'm working on it. And these are all the little steps that I go through. So here's our flip through. Like I said, I'm not sure about this one, if I like it or not. We'll have to see. I like elements of it. I'm not sure how I feel about it altogether. This one I really like, and I think it's going to look good with the gray. That's what I'll be using to fill in my little squares that I've completed. Three lines a day. That will be done in black ink. And her school tracker. And the sleep log and Fitbit. I just love how this one turned out. I'm really happy with it. I think this is my favorite, and then the habit tracker. And then super simple, my gratitude and overflow pages. And the posting and steps for YouTube. So that's it. I've got February set up. I'll be putting out my weekly layout this weekend. I have 2 of them ready for y'all almost. And I hope to see you next time. Thanks. Bye, y'all.